The dented yellow mailbox greets you with its graffito, bullet holes, and an RCM sticker.
Good mail delivery box. Pat the ball. We can just drop the white envelope. I don't think so. I guess there's a reason we want to make up
The box
for
seems
it.
happy. Eat shit pig, fucked by the coon, and St. G with a crown have been scribbled on it. Jenny is a whore, and best set mailbox also.
Been there. Post 11 Turia. Mail collection box. Been there.
The mail collection box seems cathartic, thankful even. So do you. You shudder, then you swallow, and then suddenly you see it. Over all the other graffitos, someone has, using the tip of a very sharp knife, cut the words, Revachol forever.
Well, that was interesting. Anyway. Maybe the sea monsters did hide to this plaza? The damage looked like it could have been caused by an earthquake. Ooh, you know what? We haven't talked to these people. I know we have a lot of stuff to do. We got the coast to go, but we gotta finish talking with the people of this area.
Life doesn't need to be a struggle.
He covered his mouth. He covers his mouth to hide a burp.
I'll be with you in a moment, officer. Let me just finish my sandwich. Talk to Angry Hard René first.
Okay. Fair enough. Man in a sandwich.
Officer! God damn it. Pull yourself together, René. What do you want?
Did I talk to you before? I don't feel that's the... Why are you talking like I talked to you before? I haven't talked to you before. René, I found your guard booth. So this is the guy from the guard booth on the railing past the fence.
Yes. The Debardeurs Union pays me to stand vigil during the night. Not out of any political allegiance, mind you. I'm an old man. Don't sleep more than a few hours every night anyway, and money is tight.
He adds with a sly sigh.
He feels like he has to justify himself for some reason.
You might have seen something on the night of the murder. Your boot looked right into the yard.
Yes, it does. Unfortunately, I wasn't working that night. Been on a 2-week leave since last Monday.
What are you in a leave?
It's a private matter. Nothing to do with your investigation.
It says with dignity.
You see, officer, René is the kind of man would rather die than admit he needs medical assistance or, God forbid, seek it. A real man's man is just gonna ride it out.
That's never good.
I'm fine, goddammit. Mind your own business. It's nothing. Just got to cut back on coffee.
You gotta cut back on many stuff. So, who was working your night shift that night?
No one. The bus has been unmanned since last Monday. There's no other guard. It's just me.
You look suddenly very old and tired. Do I really need a guard in that area?
No one has been guarding the container yard since last Monday.
Yes. It's not actually an issue. I mean...
He hesitated before continuing. He feels like his job is probably not as important as he would like it to be.
Look, officers, the container yard doesn't actually need a guardsman. Never had one before René. Monsieur Claire had that booth built specially for him. It's mostly decorative.
Mostly decorative?
The possibility of someone being in there is enough to discourage any ill-minded individuals.
He tries to argue.
Evrard created this job for René because he knows the Royal Carabiniers' pension of honor and PTSD isn't something a man can live off. A decorated Kingsman collecting tear reflects bad on the whole neighborhood. His words.
Eric gets it. Big guys looking after the small and everybody working together. I love it. Such dependency only weakens a man further. Do or die. There's no middle ground. René is but one man within the program. Get the early back in the job market. He fucks motivated. Rene should rent out his service, invest the profit, get a few more guys to spend and repeat. Wage work is a dead end. There's absolutely nothing wrong with terror collecting. It is my side thing too. I mean, I don't like any of this. I guess because I'm a communist, I'm gonna say, forget it.
Can we conclude the topic of my guard boost now?
There's a grimace of pain on the old soldier's face. Looks like he wants to argue but can't find words. Finally, his lips moves. I saw a picture in there. You were on it. Who's the girl?
She is nobody. This is none of your concern, and I refuse to discuss my private affairs with the RCM.
Why not?
The lady is Jeanne-Marie Beaulieu, and she sure as hell wasn't a nobody.
Got it. Thanks.
Yes. Like I said, it would be up anyway, so might as well keep an eye out. It keeps my senses sharp.
Sure. Do you know anything about the man hanged in the backyard of the reeling in rags?
Unfortunately, I don't. Unlike most of the locals, I have no qualms about assisting law enforcement, but this affair has passed me by completely.
And most of the locals?
In Martinez, the union is the law, so can you really blame them?
But you don't have problems with cops.
Cop is a pejorative term. I don't have a problem with policemen. On the contrary, I admire the effort to bring order to our streets.
He doesn't know about the crime. Your time is better spent discussing politics.
Okay. Alright, we're gonna get into gender roles, huh? What about policewomen?
I'm confident they are indispensable in regard to all the paperwork and other administrative duties.
But not field work? You think a policewoman cannot do the same job as a policeman? Getting fucking political for no reason. Not to mention this should keep tidy and the men fed and happy. There's no duty RCM woman couldn't carry out. You better not be implying that women are fit for field work.
I am merely stating that nature, in her infinite wisdom, has made men more fit to perform certain more challenging tasks than women. Remaining headstrong, making tough decisions on the spot, or even tackling physical obstacles are a few examples of such challenges.
You're a bit of an asshole, don't you?
There's no point in getting angry at nature, officer. This is just the way we are made.
He's probably, he's super old and racist. You know, what are you gonna do? You seem to be playing in a crater.
Yes. The terrain here provides an interesting variety to a familiar game.
Does it have anything to do with the bullet holes I've been seeing around?
Yes. It was left by heavy artillery fire.
Okay, it's created left by activity fire, but why? I think we know this. This was the work of the coalition, who attacked this place with the after the communists take down the fascists, the king, basically.
Why what?
Why was heavy artillery used? I guess it want Rene experience. He's even on the fascist side.
Because that's what happens when communists hijack your country, execute your supreme leadership, and turn your capital into a slaughterhouse. You use heavy ordnance to clean up your home.
Alright. Let's just ask the questions, you know? Let's just pretend that we don't know. Wait, who are the commoners again?
Commies, communists, socialists, anarchists, call them what you like. They just chose a name to feel special. Senseless sentimentality.
Right. Did you use artillery fire against them?
Sadly, no. It was the foreigners who brought them to their knees. We fought valiantly. Too valiantly. So valiantly we got licked.
He added, squeezing a bowl in his fist.
Should have fought dirty, like they did with their suicide sex cult propaganda and mad anarchist women strapped to shrapnel bombs. We didn't so, and we lacked caliber. God bless him, but the suzerain's cannons simply weren't big enough.
Like the suicide sex cult propaganda. And Mad Anarchist Woman. Oh my god, that's some deep end. That is some Bill Gates like contaminating the water supply type of deal.
It was probably a bit more complicated than that.
Why sell them here in Martinez?
Because this place is a damn beachhead. Had to soften the commies up first.
The bitch head.
Yes. The military coordinated amphibious landing to take back Revachol.
He finds your lack of historic knowledge troubling, a sign of mental deterioration in the preceding generations.
Martinez was used as one of the 3 footholds in Revachol during Operation Deathblow in '08. The other 2 are off in Stella Maris and the Delta.
He points to the northeast. That blow. Sound grim.
This here is Blood Ground, where coalition boots first made landfall and cleaned those rabid dogs out. Most likely, we're playing pétanque on their mangled corpses.
Blood ground. You got old René going there. Like he isn't hungry enough already.
Yeah. Okay. Again, I'll just ask the coalition.
Don't get me wrong, officer. I hate those foreign dogs, but the enemy of my enemy and all that. They're the lesser evil.
Is that why everything is so bummed out?
Damn right, son. They laid the fire of hell on the city before they stormed it. And it worked, too. The rest of the city got cleaned up, but Martinez they keep as a monument. And now the Union Socialists are practically running the place.
But aren't you working for the union, technically?
Well, it's your own damn fault. You, we, the coalition, Revachol, whoever you want to blame, never finished the job. Officially, the party never surrendered. Of course they still hold influence.
You don't even begin to truly understand the players on the table, let alone the specific circumstances surrounding the... What do you think?
What do I think about what?
Thinking men have opinions on these things. Present one.
Well, no. Let's see. Who do I think is the better one? That's how it should be. Self-socialism paving the way for the hard-working class to take over. Foraging power clean up our mess, and now they ruled us. Shake your head in shame. The coalition seem quite capable, actually. Communists just don't understand how money works. Self-socialism pay for the hard-working class to take over.
Preposterous! Surely you don't mean it. I'm just sorry it had to be them. After 8 years of fighting those commie hyenas, boiling cats for food and drinking my piss in the mountains, I would have preferred if the Right Honorable King Guillaume returned through Revachol, or even if that damn clan Frissel had risen from the grave and led us. Sadly, that was not the case.
They were terrible kings, even for king standards.
This royal failure weighs heavily on him.
Instead, all that is just, holy, and beautiful in the world was wiped away, and now it's neon signs with toothpaste ads everywhere. Foreign influence peddling garbage and stupid music on the radio. This is just what the commies wanted. This was their plan all along. This is what they wanted to replace the role of the suzerain with.
How does Philip III factor into this? Point towards the monument.
It doesn't. That was 100 years ago. Ain't got nothing to do with anything.
Okay. Tell me about Frissel again.
Damn Frissel. He was the king we couldn't protect. The Carabineers failed him, and the crown. He died in the hands of the Hyperlay, in a very public execution.
The old veteran falls silent and massages his chest.
He slouches as he says that. It makes him smaller, admitting they left the king to the mob.
You mentioned Guamel.
A true king in both blood and mind led Revachol before Frissel. He would have been better, but the damn commies drove him into exile.
Wasn't he or who was the one who was like a fucking drug addict who was like snorking and sleeping in a pile of gold?
Exiled, Joyce said Guillaume ran and his nephew, Frissel, was shot in his place.
Yeah, but again, that is their view, their difficult political views, so they're biased in both ways. But what are the facts? What you think about this? Communists didn't try Guillermo out. He left when things got bad and left Frisette to take the hit.
This is communal propaganda. Guillaume would never do something like that. He is Lelion.
There is not a shadow of doubt in his mind that this is the truth.
I mean, it might have been the truth. I don't know. Again, we've seen two very different people seeing the matter from different perspectives. So, I mean, it does sound more likely that he would probably run, you know? But, again, what exactly is a suzerain?
The suzerain is the king. Has everyone forgotten already? They forgotten already.
Soon, they will forget everything. Him too. Then he chooses anger over melancholy.
It's no use talking to you. You were still in Daddy's balls when it happened. When we took our last stand against the Fifth and rode the cavalry straight into gunfire.
Okay. Yeah, everyone forget her. Yeah, you know. Not a historian buff, my guy. Is there anything you can tell me about this rifle? Hold on the antique firearm.
It's a Bell McGrave. 4.46 caliber. Breech loading. Revachol made. Good weapon. Accurate and reliable. This one's inoperable. The bolt spring is missing and the mechanism is jammed shut. Still a beauty. Where did you find her?
In the basement over there, point at the bookshop.
I'm not surprised. There are probably lots of forgotten wartime weapons lying around here. Back in the day, everyone had something stashed away. As for the rifle, I don't know what else to tell you. These BM-446s are an antique. No one uses them anymore. The ammunition is impossible to find.
So this has nothing to do with, like, the murder. Got it. I saw the statue of Philippe III near the roundabout.
Ah, yes. King Philip III on his steed. A reminder of what Revachol once was.
Oh, absolutely. At the mercy of a cocaine-snorting tyrant who emptied the treasury so he could sleep on a bed of gold.
He wanted to recreate the DuckTales, like pile of gold.
A superpower, feared and respected. A testament to what this country can be under the leadership of a true king. Someone who knows how to rule.
How do you think a true king should rule?
Decisively, without fear of offending the sensibilities of the frail and weak-minded among his subjects. This is something the insurgents never understood.
Well, to me, it seems to me a leader should take care of the people before himself.
A nation is only as strong as its leader. That's why it was such madness to try to...
Don't get started on that again. What happened, happened.
There's some weariness on his voice now. He's heard this rant many times before. I want to hear. I want to see what he has to think.
The carabinier doesn't reply, but his entire being communicates unbreakable resolve. No one and nothing can change this man's mind. He is as rigid as they come, still in that antique uniform. It's a symbol for him.
Alright, what was that about cocaine?
Oh, old Philip was a big fan of the purple nose candy the nobility loved so much. A cocaine connoisseur of sorts. His egocentricity is borderline legendary.
You can't even take the responsibility for yourself. How could you fathom the responsibility weighing on the shoulders of a ruler?
He's like, he was too stressed. He needed to take the edge off with a couple of lines of cocaine like anybody in the right mind would.
That's why the Philippian kings use cocaine. For clarity of vision. To aid in their work. Regnum cocainum. Revachol's finest years.
This is to grow taller, brimming with pride about the past. That's the most pride anyone has about ever snorting cocaine.
Of course. Clarity of vision. Awareness.
The lieutenant marks dryly.
Philip III was even brought into this world with the help of cocaine. The court made him administer the dose to his mother when she was in labor, and it is well known that with the help of cocaine, Only the purest, of course. He was able to connect with higher realms.
Higher realms. Gee, Rene. All right, you lost me. I was like, okay, this is an old man who was raised in a certain way. He was, he's he's racist. Whatever. But then, are you talking about cocaine and higher realm? I guess it's not that far off, but it's just so unbelievable. It's like, what?
Higher realms. Of course, it all makes sense.
Don't encourage me or him, Iceland Empire. I'm not
He's
doing
just
cocaine.
making excuses for the king's habits, isn't he?
I too have traveled to higher realms. Such responsibility requires a boost every now and then. Sometimes I need one too. No, I don't want to say that. Seems like an irresponsible behavior for a monarch. Drug users shouldn't even operate heavy machinery, much less rule countries.
From what I've seen of the officers of the Elysium... But I don't want to get into a debate about drug policies.
I have my own demons, Rene. I already recognize it. I'm doing better. I'm trying my best. Okay, let's talk about something else.
Right.
Composure. What is this about this old soldier that make him stand so proud? Composure. Ooh, can I do this? I should probably try some composure. Man, I have my composure pen and composure thing. I don't think I can win this one.
Vigilance
Might as well
officer.
try.
What can this old carabiner do for you?
What is about this old soldier that make him stand so proud?
All you observe is a veteran refusing to let go of the past and his old uniform. This is not uncommon.
This is the uniform of the Royal Carabineers in service of Frissel I, Guillaume le Lion, and the valiant King Philip V before him.
Don't you mean Frissel the Fan?
You do not speak his name, Craven, although he was a clown. But he was our clown, ours to ridicule and to mourn.
There's something you missed. You will get to it. Don't worry.
Will I get to it? Are you sure? Can't get more composure, so okay, I'll talk to you.
I have really outdone myself.
It takes
This is divine.
a bite of his sandwich.
Yes, that's what you need, Gaston. More padding on that fat arse of yours. I hope your heart gives out.
René, it's a little pleasures. Life doesn't need to be a struggle. Hello, officer. How might I be of assistance on this fine day?
Well, you seem to be a little more level-headed than this guy. Tell me stuff. You mentioned Jean-Marie Balieu. Who is that?
Oh, sweet Jenny. She was the finest woman in all of Revachol. Maybe the entire world.
Do not defile her memory, Gaston. Let her rest in peace.
There's an almost imperceptible small tremble in his voice.
His tone lacks its usual intensity, like he doesn't feel he has the right to speak on the matter.
So, you both know her?
We knew her, all right. Lived on the same street our entire lives, just 2 houses apart. The 3 of us have been best friends since we were 4. She was René's first girl back when the prick was 16. They were courting till he decided he'd rather die for some great ideal than just be happy.
And then you stole her from me.
He jerks forward, but then grabs his chest and stopped. Man, okay, so you went to... Yeah, so he went to the military to defend the king. And the other guy here... what was your name again? Gaston. Slip in. So we got a kind of a triangle here. A love triangle. Easy, fellows. No need for this to get ugly.
Oh, officer. It already got ugly nearly 80 years ago when the 3 of us were just learning to walk and talk.
You stole her from me.
René repeats, trying to study his breathing and still clenching his chest.
Well, technically, you stole her from me, because we'd been pretty close ever since you two had that falling out over the ink you spilled over her pretty yellow dress.
We were just boys then. This was different. You,
The tall veteran look at you and nods.
no point starting this all over again. For the 1000th and the first time. Especially when we have company. Officer,
What happened to her?
She died of pneumonia 2 winters ago. It was a quiet passage, peaceful.
He smiles faintly.
René and I were both by her bedside when she...
He pauses, searching for the right words.
died. No use sugarcoating it. Won't bring her back. Will it now?
departed. Until the very end she couldn't decide between us. The most indecisive woman I've ever met.
So you're in a sort of, not really, but kind of polyamorous relationship, kind of. What do you think she was so indecisive? I mean, between these two studs?
She could never make up her mind about anything. What to have for breakfast, favorite color, or which one of us to marry.
The look in his eyes is happy and distant.
She was always leaving one of us for the other, but never long enough to actually get married.
I guess there's nothing wrong with weighing your options first, huh? She's been weighing her options for 80 years, though.
Heck, technically, we're both still engaged to her.
You always confused her. Couldn't let us be happy.
He says,
Seduced her with your fancy words and pastries.
"Hey, I like pastries. I will be very seduced by pastries."
He suddenly remembers you are still there, falls silent, and turns away.
Thanks for sharing.
Of course, officer. Memories are all we have left.
Do you know anything about the dead man?
Let me think. I heard someone was hanged and left on a tree for a week. But that's all I know, really.
Come on, you must have heard something.
No, officers, I'm sorry. And I really would like to assist. You are both good guys. I can see that.
Thank you, Gaston.
Then help them, you wimp. You have plenty of shoulder with the ghost caviar in the Union. Someone must know something.
Oh, you work on the Union too.
He
I mean, I
means
guess everyone
caviar
does, kind of.
socialists.
Caviar socialist. Yeah.
I wish I could, but I just don't know anything. I always keep my nose clean and don't gossip. Everyone knows and respects that.
He's an 80-year-old man. Like, why is he get his nose into, like, oh, possible group in the Union murdering a guy and hanging it, you know?
Odd. He doesn't seem to be lying, but there's something off here.
Sounds a bit like you're holding back.
I'm not even anyone.
Of course he's holding back. His mouth is so full of Union prick he can't even speak properly.
Can I at least finish my fucking sentence before you piss on it? Is that okay, René? I'm not anyone important in the Union. I just know Evrard.
Okay, well, we're getting somewhere. How do you know Everett?
Everyone in Martinez knows the Clare brothers. I taught these boys human studies and history in the gymnasium.
Oh, you were their teacher. Huh.
What do you know about history? You never witnessed history. Only heard about it years later, when it had already moved on. You don't know history.
The old soldier mumbles something under his breath and turns to face the sea. There he stands, proud, rigid and alone, like a cracking marble statue.
Let's try not to get caught in a crossfire.
Okay, Kim.
Lest we leave riddled with bullet holes. This animosity is ancient.
Are you a Union member then?
Oh, in many ways, yes. Like an honorary member. I attend meetings and parties. Help with little things. Evrard, Edgar, and the older debarders all know me.
You say in many ways, but not all the ways? What do you mean?
Oh, yes.
You're not actually a member?
Not in the technical sense. I don't have a vote or a membership card. But Evrard keeps me on the payroll. Just for the little things.
So that's what it was before. Him hiding something He tries to make it look like he's a big deal in the Union, and now the illusion is disintegrating before your and Renee's eyes.
Okay, you were holding back for that to keep like, oh yeah, I'm important in the unions. Well, you know, I don't have a car, but you know, I get paid.
He doesn't know anything because no one tells him anything. He's an outsider.
Of course he's not a member. He's not a member of anything. I knew that. He's a Weservein. Turns the way the wind blows and tries to look important. I hate the socialist rabble. But even siding with them is better than living your entire life on the fence. Never committing to anything. Pick a damn side already.
What are the little things you do forever? Anything interesting?
Writing work mostly. Occasionally, he needs something written, and I happen to have a way with words, people say.
What kind of things you write?
Oh, nothing official, I assure you. Just essays for the newspapers. About Martinez and how things are and how they could be. Evrard and I have these long talks where...
Well, he tells his little pen man exactly what to say. It's commie propaganda, plain and simple. You should be ashamed of yourself.
I mean, that's how it works, you know. Man, I do little things forever myself. Nothing wrong with that. I feel terrible about it. Let's stay on track. I mean, I guess I'm gonna be honest. I do little things forever myself. Nothing wrong with that.
That's just the way things work around here. No reason to feel bad about it.
Alright, let's get political. Are you a caviar socialist?
I don't even consider myself a regular socialist. Politics is not really something I involve myself in, officer.
That seems a very non-committal answer, my good Gaston. Wait, how can you write those newspaper pieces if you're not political?
Officer, I have a vivid imagination. And like I said, I have a way with words. That's enough. No need to sink into politics.
He just fluffs it up.
Of course. Don't sink into anything. Don't sink into any fight. Only sink into your couch.
So you are weather vane?
I prefer highly adaptable myself. Have a better ring to hit, don't you think?
Yes.
Mon Dieu.
Well, thanks. That's all for now about that topic.
No, thank you. For being consummate professionals. You'll have this case wrapped up in no time.
God, I hope. So you seem to be playing. What are the rules of this game?
Oh, the goal is to throw your bull. As close to the cochonnet as you can.
The cochonnet. What is the cochonnet? What are you talking about?
That's the cochonnet.
He points to a small wooden ball in the middle of the crater. So you're trying to hit the ball with another ball. Interesting. Tell me more about it.
Well, first, you draw a circle about a half a meter in diameter. We made ours out of rope. Then, the order of play is determined by a coin toss. You win it. You get to throw the cochonnet. Then, the players aim to throw their bulls as close to the cochonnet as possible. They must stay in the circle and keep both feet planted.
Anything else?
I could, but I'd rather not. I don't want to take up your time with trivial details, officer.
I think I get it, thanks.
You'll put that knowledge to good use in 50 years. I'm sure of that, officer.
20 years?
I don't like where this is going, officer. Don't you think we should do something else now?
No, I want to talk to him. I promise it won't be about petanque.
Hurry up then.
You know what? That looks delicious. Point to the sandwich. Can I have a bite of that?
I'm sorry, officer, but I really don't share food. Nothing personal, it's just a principle.
The only one you have.
The sandwich looks like a culinary wonder. Well made and abundant in components. The author sure knew their craft.
I do love some good components.
In addition to the obvious slice of ham, a fat one, you notice a brim of a tomato peeking from below, and Is that mayonnaise?
Hot take. I don't like mayonnaise too much. I find it kind of yucky. But, you know, the tomato, ham... Probably there has to be more to that. Any slice of cheese or, you know, lettuce. Can I have a bite?
Believe me, officer. I wish I could help you, but I need this sandwich to keep my blood sugar stable. In my age, you need to pay attention to these things.
Please, friend, let's just share
Fuck off! It's mine!
it. He tell me to fuck off. He jerks away, immediately startled by his own reaction. God damn, you really like that sandwich.
Sorry, officer. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it in a bad way. But the sandwich is mine. I'm not gonna share it.
When the dissidents come to rape our country, he hides. But try to get a bite of his dear sandwich and he gets claws? We are a special kind of vermin, Gaston.
Rhetoric, legendary. 14 can Biscuit Stone to relinquish his sandwich. Well, how can we do that? Do we have anything that reduces my rhetoric? Anything that increases it, maybe. Rhetoric. Didn't I have something? I'm pretty sure I saw something. Nope. Not really. I mean, 58 is a fairly high
It is
chance.
such a pleasure to see
Ah,
you
fuck it.
again, officer.
Alright, this is how we're gonna do it.
I admire your handiwork, chef, but there are a few things I'll do different.
Like what, officer? This is as good as they come in Revachol, I assure you.
An array of delicious recipes flashes through your mind. Salads, salmon, sandwiches, bingo.
The bread you built this wonder on could have been toasted beforehand. Had you put a large slice of old Dubain cheese crosswire from the ham, it will minimize the component loss via crumbling.
Mon Dieu, that is an excellent idea. That would virtually negate the component loss.
I'll do you one better. The air pockets between cheese and ham could have used pre-roasted paprika.
Ce serait délicieux. Can you make that sandwich, officer?
Sure, but I'm gonna need yours as a prototype first.
I hope you are not just tricking an old man out of the little he has left.
Initial development takes time, of course, but in 6 to 9 months you will eat the sandwich of gods.
Or god of sandwiches, maybe? But in the meanwhile, what can
I just rubbed this all his fucking sandwich. Damn, that does look great. Oh, that looks good. I can almost, even though it's a paint, and I can legitimately grab it. Boom! This might be the biggest sandwich you have ever seen. The size is almost intimidating, invoking feelings of inadequacy, abundant in components, rich in both smell and taste, probably. This truly is the work of a master craftsman. Okay, so I guess it's gonna be like a healing item, so I'm just gonna like left it. Hold on, there's like a thing here. The spirit chips and click. Okay, whatever. I don't know what that means. Alright. You know what we haven't done? Go in here. But, whatever. We gotta open this thing and go to the coast a little bit, you know?
A couple of indicator lights are missing from this control panel. Loose wires dangle from the now vacant holes. In the middle is a lever. Beneath it, a small metal plaque.
Pull the lever up.
You grab the handle and pull the lever up. As soon as the metal connects against the contact pins, you hear a loud clunk. Then, the water lock starts moving.
We can finally go to the coast. An entire new area for us to explore.
All right, we can go to the coast now. Expect rugged terrain and drunks. And if you wanted to forge that document for Evrard, now you can.
We'll try, maybe. First, I do want to see this building. I haven't entered here. I think this is the pawn shop. I sort of remember it. Some kind of machine. And then take a cash register. Most military well. A few more eccentric fashion thrown in. Oh, right. Can I buy
Wow,
clothes here?
a very large red t-shirt with an impressive print stands out from the other garb.
Oh, yeah?
Oh yeah, the print depicts a muscled man striding toward you, a giant sword in each hand, encircled by burning embers. Behind him is a cluster of cabins engulfed in flames. Beneath him are the words, Heimdall burning.
So it's a hymn like from that series of books. Sniff the t-shirt. Get a good sniff.
Smells like worn cotton and a little old sweat there. Worn cotton with a side of flea market or trash bin.
Sniffing is okay, but please don't try anything on. Can't have you leaving your photon emissions in the fabric of things you're not going to buy.
Of course, the photon emissions will lower the value market of this item. Bert Ness Roy. Huh.
You're not imagining it. Photon emissions? What is he talking about?
That's a rat man from Heimbad t-shirt you got there.
Hell yeah, man. I don't usually carry printed tees, but this one was just pure exemplar.
You must be a serious fan of the Hyungwon man.
A fan? No, I wouldn't go that far. But I do think the Hyundalaman saga is an integral part of our shared reality.
Hopefully, those are not that racist.
Most people don't think that the man from Hyundal really existed, but they're wrong.
What do you mean by the man of Heimdall was real?
I mean, even if the man from Hyundal didn't exist before the adventure novels, the stories have made it so that he has. It's simple, really.
Oh, you mean the stories have an impact in real life. They're real in that sense. Okay, sure. I heard some of them are. I read some of them to be pretty racist. So maybe not the impression was good, but you know.
Okay.
He sounds incredulous.
You sound skeptical. It's not that complicated. All that's required is a more robust understanding of cause and effect. Besides, I've been to Kotla, though not quite as far north as the Hyundal, and watched northern lights travel across the sky. Very unique, energetic tides there.
You're weird, man.
It's for the best, because Eamdal is not a real place, and thus he could not have gone there. His theory isn't exactly incoherent, but its logic does suggest some unusual neural activity. Interesting. Very, very unique energies indeed. Geomagnetic ley lines, one might even say.
This sure celebrates a false hero, a guardian of the masculine order. That's my feminist talking.
I doubt the real man from Hyundal was as poor a role model as the one in the popular literature. But yes, the books are very sexist, in a not entirely unenjoyable way.
I guess there can always be some ironic enjoyment out of like almost anything. How much are you selling the t-shirt for?
2 real.
That's dirt cheap.
Can't you just give me for free then?
But why?
Just everything's going to be over soon anyway, man. I just want to walk into the end time wearing this t-shirt.
Interesting choice. But sure, why
He
not?
just gave it to me.
Take it.
Hey, I say $2. Cool. It takes away 2 authority, and you're too old for this shirt, but gives me 1 shivers, sprawling saga, and 1 physical instrument, inspired masculinity. The man from Helmad standing in front of a burning village, dual-wielding his ever-present Shuldrachso. I cannot pronounce these words even for the love of me. His muscles look ready to burst out of the 2-dimensional print and into your 3-dimensional life. That's a cool way to describe it. Cool. The hell is this?
A typical Martinez streetlight sits among assorted floor and table lamps.
Let your gaze run over the streetlights.
The light pole has been carefully cut, and the wiring has been redone and attached to a standard indoor plug. The light buzzes faintly, but persistently. This would make quite a statement in your living room.
Is that a street light?
Yes, officer. As you see, it's in perfect working order.
Can you even sell that?
His manner is casual, but his speech is careful, measured. He wants you to know that he has nothing to
Where the hell do you get this?
It was brought to me to be altered.
Okay, alter meaning that it couldn't stay in their original form. Can you even sell streetlights? I don't think that's a legal thing to do, much less alter it.
We are not here to investigate the theft of city property.
Okay, well, whatever. I don't push on it. I got bigger fish to fry.
You have to admit it's rather clever what he's done with it.
It is kind of cool, I guess. Yeah. How much for it?
700 real. A bargain, I dare say.
Are you out of the mind? There's just one like this every corner. Even taking account of the risk of obtaining the light, that seems a bit steep.
There's also the matter of rewiring. But the most important transformation is the light's placement among ordinary indoor fixtures, which has adjusted its morphological field. The light became
Morphological
suitable for use
field. I don't
inside
sure
the
that's a
home just a few
real
days
thing.
ago.
700. I don't think I can actually. Can you even actually buy this? How the hell are you gonna even carry that? What advantage will it even have? There's nothing I need to know about the light. A bust of a woman. The black symbol says "Days." In the dark, a film projectile is whirring away. What is this?
You see rows of toy soldiers guarding the rest of the trinkets displayed on the table. Some on horseback, others in rags, others yet in bright blue uniforms. All are stern and unyielding in their... Try to find something pretty and cool here. Then use it to win her back.
Win her back?
Yes. Buy something nice. A figurine. This sounds off. You shouldn't trust this guy.
Okay, Belician. Yeah, he's weird. Probably means my ex-wife. I don't think I can get my ex-wife by getting like a fucking figurine. Inspect the knight on the horseback.
Big men on big horses, clad in lamella armor and carrying flintlocks. The kind that would mow down a line of enemy soldiers in the blink of an eye.
Point to the knights on horseback. They're Franco-Generian cavalry, right?
I used to be very serious about my Franco-Nigerian knight.
He looks at the dusty figurine and the dim light.
A long, long time ago.
Oh, you were into figurines. That's pretty cool, Kim. Inspect the blue uniforms.
They're not all blue. These figurines also wear gold coats and caps, complemented by orange trousers. They are variously posed, wielding swords and rifles with bayonets.
This looks like René, the old guy who was playing Petanque.
This is what the loyalists looked like, yes, at first. Then they wised up and got camouflaged.
Yeah, I do have one of the coats in my inventory. Points at the blue figurine. Are these royalist soldiers?
Which ones? Ah, those. Yes, they are. I find the paint job a bit gaudy, but children like the bright colours indiscriminately.
Inspect the figurines in rags.
This set of soldiers isn't meant to look impressive. A few have rifles, but most of them carry pistols. Some even shovels and tall sticks.
Hey, don't underestimate shovels. They're soldiers. They're a good friend of soldiers. Point at the figurine rag. Are these even soldiers?
You're probably talking about the revolutionaries, yes? Yes, they are soldiers. Revolutionary soldiers. I think their poverty has been exaggerated for effect. When you place them next to the royalists, it doesn't seem like they could possibly win.
I guess it meant to give people hope.
Maybe.
He seems to have his own take on the conflict played out in perpetuity by these toys. It might be interesting to find out what it is.
Digaba truly cool. Yeah, I guess this means that we can. Yeah, we're gonna talk to him in a second. Digaba truly cool figurine of the box.
Everything you pick out seems faded, chipped.
Oh, that sucks. What's this? Thank God that noise sound. There was like a weird noise in my ear.
Traveled, chipped, dented. They stare at you with the unblinking eyes of their tape reels.
I was gonna say anything, but I was like, "God, that." And I'm like, what the hell is that? Why am I getting that sound from looking at figurines? Stand on the tip of your toes and see more.
One especially catches your eye. Deep gold and amber plastic with a big old handle on top. A classic boombox that says Stereo 8 approved. This is you. Golden orange. A sunset suite. Just make sure it works before you buy it.
Shopkeeper, this Stereo 8 approved machine here
is the Harman Welsh W2, made in Vespa, designed in Seoul. Plays all reel-to-reel formats. 2mm, 8mm, 12mm. It's even got a little radio in there. It'll set you back 12 real.
It plays a lot of different types of stuff and even has a radio. That seems pretty good. I do have the money. Literally $12. It will still leave me 20 for a room. What I really wanted to know is, could this bike come handy in my police work?
If police work means playing tapes, sure. You can use it for that. Or any other time you'd need to play a tape.
Like a beach party. With sand and sun and seagulls dancing on the breeze.
Turn to Kim. Theoretically, could I bring this into a beach party?
Theoretically, yes. But we don't have time right now. It's generally murder investigation first, then beach party.
Cool. Actually, it doesn't have to be a bitch. With a boombox like that, I'll bring the party into the streets. You're right. It's really the end that I need it for. Or requiem. I don't know. You're right, Kitsuragi. Work first, party later.
That is the unofficial RCM motto, yes.
It's not, sadly.
Are you sure this is all working order?
Absolutely. I've tested each one myself with recordings of speech, found sounds and music from a variety of genres, even though I don't really like music.
That's odd. Why doesn't he like music?
Don't like music. What do you like then? I met people who don't like music, and that's weird, you know? It's like, I can understand not liking most music, but really no genre, no type of music produce any type of pleasure in you. It's weird, but I know, I mean, it's fine. Don't you like music? What do you like then?
The stuff I record myself. Silverware shaking in drawers as motor cars race by. Nocturnal animals climbing on the roof. Airship rotors. That kind of thing.
So SMR, basically. I mean, that is sounds to be considered like very experimental music in a way.
Maybe you should ditch music as well. Get into these more experimental sounds he's describing.
Maybe. Equipped to play tapes. Don't I have a tape? I think I have them. Oh, fuck it.
And here you are. Quality sound reproduction on the go. It'll play anything, wherever. Turn any tape into a conversation of sounds and shapes.
Glad to do business. Alright, tools. I can just carry this shit. Look at that. That's pretty cool. Okay, what do you do with this? It looks cool too. This is a reel-to-reel boombox of everyone's youth. A little banged up, a little chipped, and honestly, not that loud either. Looks cool though. Excels in being carried on the shoulders, allow you to play audio tapes item and blast music into the face of unscrupulous strangers. Cool. Well, talk to me, pawn
It's
shop
not
man.
often that I see officers from the RCM in my pawn shop.
The man at the counter turns to you slowly.
What can I do for you?
His courtesy is not insincere, but he prefers being alone with his projector, just watching the movement of light across the walls of the shop.
Sorry, I feel like I'm interrupting you.
Oh no, not at all. I guess I haven't had many customers lately. RCM or otherwise.
I don't feel anyone has, really.
Who are your customers usually?
All kinds of people come through here. Locals, travelers, people looking for a deal. People looking for a keepsake. People who are terminally bored.
I mean, you do have interesting stuff.
As you can see, I have a wide selection of goods for everyone to choose from.
Quite the collection indeed.
It keeps me entertained.
Electromagnetic challenging 12. Is Roy high? And if yes, what is he on? Electrochemistry 1, even. Okay, I do have a lot of electrochemistry like clothing and stuff. Roy's prices are strange. Yeah, and he gave me the t-shirt for no reason. Odd brain activity. I don't know how I got that, but okay. The boombox I bought. It should play this tape, right?
Of course. It's in working order still, isn't it? Just pick your tape and set it spinning. It all starts with the tape.
There's something I like to sell.
Let me have a look.
I like to sell my clothes.
I'm not purchasing any more clothing at the moment.
It looks you down. Why? Come on. You have clothes to sell.
And especially that tie. It swallows photons around it. I have no need for necrotic objects.
Your mother is a necrotic object! I'm fun! Look at me sparkle in the light of the projector!
You're a necrotic. Your mother's a necrotic object. I should use that. I'll check my pocket. So I guess
Anything
yeah,
else you're
it will make
thinking of selling?
it will make sense. I'll sell the postcards. Shot put ball. Yeah, whatever. In this brush, we need that. Postcard of that Delta. Alright. No, not the empty cassette. I think those are the unimportant items. I don't want to sell anything too weird. Alright. Got a lot of money from that. Nothing else at the moment.
Another time, perhaps.
A strange tie incident. Ooh, another. Okay, we should talk to this guy more, just to see what's going on. Do you know anything about the traffic menace on the loose?
Traffic? I'm sorry, officer, but I don't drive.
Why don't you drive?
I just don't like it very much. Movement on the road never really gelled well with the movement of my thoughts.
But didn't you hear when the traffic menace drove over your roof?
Now that I think about it, I do remember hearing a thunderous noise the other night. Some kind of powerful electric vortex.
This
hitting
guy
the
is
shop
so high.
and then moving on.
That sure narrows down our list of suspects.
A vortex sounds fascinating. Talk to me about it.
Yeah, it was pretty wild. I didn't really know what to make
How
of
did
it,
that
but
now give me one
I know
one
it
extra
something.
point for this? He's talking like, oh yeah, here vortex of energy. You might be able to aid our investigation.
I doubt it, but I can try and answer any questions you may have.
Know anything about the recent hanging?
I do my best to keep my distance from all manner of butchery. Bad for business, bad for everyone.
He doesn't know anything.
Alright, well, that's all I got then.
Broker's gaze is already fixed on the dancing colors.
By the way, do you happen to have any guns like the one carried by the officers of the citizen militia?
Someone else came here earlier today asking the same question. I promptly sold her the gun you pawned a couple days back.
The gun that I sell?
This is a pawn shop, and it did feel as if you've met before. Oh God.
Oh my
The
god.
lieutenant shifts from one foot to another, alert.
Oh my. I sold my gun?
You...
With Kim here too. That just sounded really, really bad.
That's the most emotion my thought had ever had.
You were adamant about getting rid of it, officer. Said you were undeserving of a service weapon of the Revachol Citizens Militia.
Jesus fucking
And
Christ.
I don't like keeping guns around the shop for long. Off the charts photon emissions. The unhealthy kind.
He's not telling you the whole story. It seems he's trying to spare you.
I feel there's something you're not telling me.
You weren't quiet yourself, officer.
What was it like? Let me guess. I was drunk or I was high? I mean, this is not a surprise. Just tell me about it, please. I need to know. We cannot let Just any fucko has a fucking gun.
You were very distraught. You said the gun was a threat to your life and that you can't trust yourself with it tonight. And that you need the money.
Okay. Okay, so I was suicidal. That's even worse. But also checks out.
When I said that I don't normally buy firearms, you put the gun barrel in your mouth and sort of sucked on it. Then I agreed to take it.
Very normal behavior. You must have been in great shape.
Thank you, composure. Very kind of you to chime in like that. How much did I sell the gun for?
15 real.
The lieutenant looks from you to Roy, and then back to you. It's clear that he hopes this tableau might still turn out to be a bad dream.
I'm sorry,
It's not,
Kim. I'm sorry.
This has got to be the most. Wow.
I'm sorry.
There's pity there too, in case you didn't notice.
Happens to the best of us. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. I really should have killed myself. Maybe I still will one of these days. I don't know. I'm sorry you had to see me in that state. We don't have to talk about it any further.
No apologies necessary, officer.
Was the buyer a policeman too?
She didn't seem like a policeman, although she kept referring to herself as a pig, which was odd. I found her interest in the gun a bit obsessive, but I was just happy to get rid of it, and of her.
Considering everyone can just put up a shop whatever they like and stuff, and then no need for permits and stuff. I guess there are no rules about like, because it seems like weapons are not too common, and yet the pawn shop can just both buy a gun and just sell the gun to whoever they like.
Truth be told, she was terrifying.
Right, so let me get this right. You sold your sidearm, issued by the citizens' militia, and now a civilian is running around the streets of Martinez with it?
I know it's a terrible situation, Kim. I apologize so much for this. We have to make this. I have to make this right.
Miraculously, his face does not reveal what's happening inside.
There's only one explanation. She must be one of my rabbit. No, don't go stupid mode. No. Maybe she's a vigilante, wants to prove that she can do her jobs better than we can.
It's possible in these parts of town. We ought to find her and discourage her from taking justice into her own hands.
He looks around, worry. Kim, I promise, I'll get this done right soon. Any idea where I can find the buyer?
My apologies, officer.
I feel like I should
but
have done
have
this
no
way early.
idea where she was coming from or where she went.
A needle in a haystack. There is nothing you can do about it right now. You'll just have to hope Everard wasn't lying, and the Union can track her down in time.
Have people for Everclear Union come here to track the gun?
Maybe. Shady looking guys came in here yesterday, looking like they'd just taken off their Wild Pines overalls. They asked if I have a police weapon to sell. I told them I already sold it. They went their way. It was a trip, but you know, all sorts of people come here, asking for all sorts of things.
Maybe Claire really is tracking down your gun.
People as oleaginous as Everard seem like they're lying, even when they're really being truthful.
At least I know how I load my sidearm. Let's talk about something else.
Of course.
You get a little bit experience through that embarrassment thing. Anything else on this? No. Do you have any recordings of the Kul Dumamadakwa?
The Madakwa. Sorry, I would never have guessed that you were that interested in ultrasonic sounds. Or birds for that matter.
I've been really into all kinds of art lately. Experimental things, you know?
What an interesting development. Well, it's been a long while since I've gone hunting for the Madakwa.
Of course you've been hunted for it.
Once knew a group of young musicians who decided they didn't want to play music anymore, and started looking for all kinds of interesting sounds instead.
That sounds so cool.
Cool or not, one of them was obsessed with recording the Madakwa, and he was one of those passionate people who know a lot about all kinds of strange things. So he got the rest of us to join in his search.
And did you ever find it?
We thought we did. We got together all these recordings of unusual sound patterns, compared them, cut them up and combined them into the Symphonia called Imamadakwa.
Can I listen to it?
Unfortunately, I don't have any recordings from my old life. None at all. But I do have a tape with some ultrasonic sounds that might be what you're looking for.
He started rummaging through some tapes behind the counter.
Do we really have time for this?
Yes, it's absolutely necessary for my research.
This recording comes from down the coast. Wasn't looking to record anything specific. Just left a recording device there one morning.
It dusts off a case, then takes out the tape and places it on the tape player.
Keep in mind, I have to slow this one down enough to make sounds well over 200 kilohertz audible to the human ear. It will be strange.
It switched on the tape player. The speaker began to emit a low hum.
As the hum grows louder, modulating but always unnaturally uncomfortably low, like it's coming not from the speakers, but also from inside your chest. Breathing is becoming difficult. Not good, not good. You're about to start suffocating. You have to stop this.
Relax, Half-Life, Jesus Christ.
There's a growing sense of dread. The sound is coming from inside you, but also surrounding you. It feels as though someone is standing just outside your range of vision and watching you, doing this to you. He nods to you, reassuringly, just as more diverse, higher-pitched sounds, some random, some appearing to form patterns, hit your eardrums. Seabirds most likely, gulls and such.
Seagulls?
And skewers, but
He raises a pointer finger and inclines his head towards the speaker. A new high-pitched, shivering sound.
That's it. The signal in the noise. The thin whisper. A low range of sounds is easier to handle with a focal point, but still troubling. You are mesmerized by the sounds, but also feel nausea welling up as the motif continues, then begins to recede, dissolving in what must be the sound of water lapping at the bank.
you know, now that I've listened to it on these new speakers, it's not the cold Imamadakwa. Wrong patterns, wrong photons. Probably some insect trying to sing higher than its predators can hear. Still, fascinating, aren't they?
I will call it
Early
fascinating.
morning sounds.
I have business to take care of. I lost some of my health. We might eat the sandwich. You know what? Let's wait on that. I want to get my stuff for what was electrochemistry. One more for electrochemistry. What else do I have for electrochemistry? Fingerless gloves. And that's about it. I thought I had more for electrochemistry. Oh, two of my pants just have electrochemistry. They just have different stuff.
Hello again. How can I help you?
92% chance of passing. Is Roy high? And if yes, what is he on?
Feeling warm and enthralled by the movement of light, while the mind continues to race forward. Lucky bastard. He's probably on Pyrrolidon. It's tough to come by on the street.
The hell is Pyrrolidon? Pyrrolidon? What is that?
A drug developed by the military to treat and prevent radiation sickness. It has psychedelic side effects, and it makes your eyes turn yellow.
That's why his portrait looks so weird. It's just me. No. Sir, step closer. Sir, could you take off your sunglasses? I like to check your eyes.
Why on earth? These are prescription. I can't really see without them.
There's a note of indignation in his voice. Interesting. Those triangle patches on his vest, you have a feeling they mean something, like they're similar to the halogen rectangle on your jacket.
Points to the clothes. Say, what's with the triangles on your vest?
I was with the emergency relief brigade. You know, after the People's Pile disaster.
He coughed, as if to mark his words. I don't know about the pile disaster.
Had to take Perolidon for radiation sickness. That's what you were hinting at just now, wasn't it?
Yes, okay, so he's admitted it. Now that, I guess, he's doing it in his own free time. I guess it's like, whatever. The People's Pile. What's that?
A bad idea. Some poor leftist built a particle decay generator in hopes of bringing affordable electricity to underserved communities. It malfunctioned. Radioactive waste everywhere. Probably some of it in you too.
You know what this reminds me? You know what this suddenly reminds me? There was a news recently that the United States, I think it was the United States, right? Arrested a guy who was using an undetonated nuclear weapon or missile or something like that. I didn't pay too much attention, just kind of like, run through it. But yeah, apparently he find a way to like power his house with it, using that energy. Which on one hand is like, why the hell are you arresting the guy? He clearly knows a lot of shit. He's able to do that with an undetonated weapon. But at the same time, it's like I can kind of see the argument of like, what if malfunction or something happens to it and it just goes boom or whatever, But yeah, it just kind of reminds me of that,
The People's Pile was a Type U particle decay generator that failed immediately after entering service, releasing radioactive waste into River Esperance.
Tell me about the particle decay generator, Encyclopedia.
A primitive nuclear reactor, also called a pile.
Why is it called the People's Pile?
Construction began during the Commune of Revachol. The people continued work on it after the Commune fell. They wanted a cheap source of energy for Revachol West. Needless to say, things didn't work out.
Why did it fail?
An emergency valve defect resulted in steam pressure blowing the turbine, taking the fuel containment vessel up in the explosion. Both the faulty design and lack of finances contributed to the catastrophe.
Tell me more about the emergency relief brigade you were part of.
We were an all-volunteer force, self-organized, tried to help the fire brigades contain the spill.
An all-volunteer force is self-organized. That cannot be good.
On the patch, gamma radiation lines crossed with a red drop of blood.
I lived by the river since I was a small boy. The Esperance didn't have the art to let it all go to shit without trying to do something to help out. There wasn't much the volunteer force could do, however. We wasted years in the river mud. Years getting sick.
He looks at the spiraling lights and stops. It must have been tough. Radioactive cleanup.
There's a reason why everyone's tried to forget any of it ever happened, and why no one has tried to repair or replace the pile. So much disappointment, and early deaths. Cancer mostly. And we knew all that was coming even as we were cleaning up as best we could.
Whose fault was the generator fail?
No one's. Everyone's.
He sighs and shakes his head.
So much bitterness.
A bunch of poor people built themselves a primitive nuclear reactor, hoping for the best. What do you think is going to happen?
How do you end up running a pawn shop?
The cleanup happened 15 years ago. I was young then. Later, my second aunt died. Left me this shack and all the assorted junk in it. So I came to Martinez. People told me don't go there. It's a shithole. I said, people, we just had a nuclear pile meltdown. I'm gonna get as far away from Forburg as I can. Still in the same city, but...
Okay. Thank you for telling me.
I like the theory more than the story. Outward movement, not vortices.
Yeah, you gotta get in on those vortices, my man.
Get to share some. I don't want the drugs, man. I don't want the drugs. So yeah, we're done for today. Okay. That was pretty interesting. I think we're gonna be give me my gloves back and give me my composure pants back. That was pretty interesting. Well, next episode we're gonna go through the coast and continue exploring this wonderful, wonderful, sad, and weird, wacky world. So yeah, thank you everybody for watching. If you enjoyed the content, make sure to give a like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll see each other on the next video. Bye bye.